I love to create things. I love woodworking. I love making stuff that's never been invented before. I love writing books. And if you watch this channel at all, you will see all of that. But what is the best gift you can get somebody who loves creating stuff? A 3D printer. Ah! So when I asked my husband for this, he said, noted, I'll think about it. And then, like 2 days later, there was a suspiciously shaped blanket in our bedroom. And so I had a good feeling I was going to get it. After that, I started watching Amazon haul because I was coming up on Black Friday. Don't mind the ridiculously sized knife. It's what I have in here right now. So I started watching Amazon, and the closer we got to Black Friday, the more sales that were coming on. But then there was a Amazon haul sale right before Black Friday where there was 1 kilogram filament rolls, which if you don't know anything about 3D printing, that's the big ones. They're like normal size rolls. There was 1 kilogram rolls for $5. So I stocked up. I also caught a couple of other deals that were like $8 or $9 for a kilogram. And they were in, I got whatever color was available in that. I mostly got PLA. I got PLA Plus, and I've got a few PETG rolls. And then for Christmas, my brother got me TPU because I do drones, and I want to build my own FPV drone, which if you follow this channel, you'll end up seeing that in the future here. So I got everything I need to get started and hit the ground running. I got tools. My mom and dad got me a couple of build plates for Christmas. So I am very excited. I've been watching all kinds of videos. So I am ready to start printing things. Sometimes the simplest ideas are the best, and sometimes the simplest ideas are the best temporarily, which is where we're at. I want to actually build something nice for this, but that's a project for later because right now I want to print things. So temporarily, I'm going to set it up on my island. This is in my laundry room, which doubles as my art studio, and I just spend a lot of time in here because I have 4 kids, so I'm always doing laundry. With it being a laundry room, though, I will point out that I have 2 dehumidifiers, and I'm going to have them in here so that humidity doesn't become a problem for printing. And then if it doesn't work out, I'll move it. But for right now, that's the plan. Temporarily, it will go right here, so I can at least get it set up. The reason I went with the P1S instead of the A1, because I almost went with the A1. The reason I went this route was because I wanted it enclosed. Like I said, I have multiple kids. Some of them are pretty young, and I didn't want them sticking their fingers in anything or playing around with it, messing up prints, getting hurt. I never owned a 3D printer before, but I'm sure there's moving parts that could hurt a little finger. So this just seemed like a safer bet. Plus, I want to make sure I can vent it safely out that window. And having it enclosed is a big part of that. All right. Gotta remove the cardboard from the tool head and then the foam from the excess chute. That's back here. This is what, when it wipes the little excess filament off here, this thing flicks and it goes down the poop chute. That's what they call it. I know y'all didn't want to miss that part. That's like the most exciting thing. Okay, I have it set up. I've updated the firmware. It updates the firmware for the AMS and the printer. When you set the AMS up, plug this tube in here. You've got a 6-pin cord that goes from either one of those. It says it doesn't matter. Here, and then a 4-pin that goes from there over to that spot. Now I have it set up for its very first print. I'm printing a Benchy because I feel like that is a rite of passage for every 3D printer. So it begins. Okay, so it's the next day, and I have been printing kind of nonstop since I set this up. I'm gonna real quick show you all the first things I printed and go over a couple of issues I have had that I've worked through with this so far. All right, so I printed a little gyro fidget just because I had some leftover green I was trying to use up after doing the poop chute ramp box combo. I made a toothbrush holder today because I needed a new case for my toothbrush, and they're like $1 at Walmart, and I thought, I bet I could print that. Sure enough, there's all kinds of files for them. Took like 7 cents in Filament. I made a GoPro organizer for my case so that the GoPro's not bouncing around. Everything fits in here real nice. And a little scraper for the bench. This one doesn't have a blade in it. It's all plastic, and I used PETG for that. I made the little covers, the little dust covers for the top of the um, little metal spokes. As you can see, I have stuff printing right now. It's going to be 2 little pink cars, one for my 5-year-old daughter and one for my 2-year-old daughter, because my 5-year-old really liked my Benchy. And I asked her if she wanted one, and she said, I want a little pink car. So, little pink car it is. And then I made little covers for, little dust covers for these. And I think that's not it. There's one more thing. So, I have this hidden because it's actually going to be a birthday gift for my son, whose birthday is next week. It's just a little Dungeons and Dragons monster. And the reason I did these is because I had just a little bit of green left, and I was trying to see how much I could do and finish the roll. And then I wanted to print. I have a whole stack of these I want to print for my son anyway for his birthday. So that worked out really well. And it ended up taking all of it off of the roll, and then just the excess gets pooped out kind of in right after that print was done. It just kind of shot out what was left over. So that worked out kind of perfectly. Now, the issues I've had, I don't know if it was caused by those little covers or not, but towards the end of the print yesterday, one of those popped off, and this little rubber piece that goes over the metal at the top was sticking straight up. It had broken loose, and it knocked that off, and I kept trying to push it back on, but it wouldn't stay anymore because the little tabs were torn. So that is out. I put those back on to try and protect the top. That one still has it. I don't know if that's a big deal or not. I'm sure you guys have been printing a lot longer than me, so if someone could let me know, do I need to do something about that? Do I need to try and get a replacement piece for it or not? The other issue I had was like print number 2, this, I had a failure like right at the beginning. The edge of the base started tearing loose all around the sides while it was printing. So I stopped it, pulled it out, and I just restarted it, and then it worked fine. So don't know exactly what that was, but it's working now, so I'm just gonna be happy with it. I did get an error code that the Renaissance frequency, I don't know, something about the y-axis was having issues and that the belt needed to be tightened. I watched a YouTube video on it. Under these, there's screws. I loosened all of them. First of all, I had it off. That's important. And I loosened all of them, moved the head all around in there, trying to make sure the belt was in the middle. See, that one's even a little low. But I tried to make sure it was in the middle of the space there, and then I re-tightened them to try and get it balanced. And then I haven't had that error since, so I'm hoping that fixed it. The other error it had was last night. It said it was unable to move on the x-axis, that there might be debris or a problem with the belt. So I opened it up and looked in there, and it had some poop that got stuck. It didn't go down the little extruder spot in the back. It got stuck on that back rod, that one back there, at the top. So I pulled that off and restarted it, and then it was fine. So just little things, but it's been going well. I'm learning a lot as I go here. All of that, that's the amount of waste so far. For those wondering how fast you go through the filament, all of this and that, these little covers here, and then these little dust covers here, all that together was that one sample roll of 250 grams that Bambu sent, and about half of a roll of the orange 250 grams. You got about half of that left, and a little bit of the pink, a little bit of the black, a little bit of the white, not much. Like all together, you're looking at probably less than 400 grams total.